just so like, I don't know. There's all these rules, but then there's all these exceptions, and it's like the hard thing I think is just memorizing it all. Like that was
Yes.
what was most daunting to me, was just having to memorize the sheer amount of information. Like I still, yeah, can't
I
really believe
agree.
I did it.
I agree
Yeah.
though. I'm actually like this time around, I'm not even, I think last time I was overwhelmed with maybe like, oh my God, I have to memorize everything. I actually now
Mhm.
talking with, I have a bar exam counselor with my school,
Mhm.
and she was like, Irene, take this. There's like a couple of people who do like the calculations for how many times the NCBE tests on these certain rules for essays. And she's like, literally just memorize the top 8 rules in each of these categories and like actually type out practicing no black letter law. Everything else, just if you come across something, make it up because he's like, it's just not humanly possible to memorize everything. And then I have such limited time with like my work schedule. She's like, you
Mhm.
gotta be targeted. I'm like, all right, that's more digestible. I can handle.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice because I remember being told when I was starting to study, like you're gonna feel like you need to memorize everything and you just can't. And I was like, well, maybe I can. And then it was like July, and I was like, no, there's no way I can possibly memorize all of this. And I finally just got, I think the best piece of advice I got was like, you're going to be tested so much on all of the MBE subjects because those are going to show up in MEE, MPT, and MBE. So, like, it makes sense to focus on those and get to know those really well. And then the other ones, like, you can kind of go a little bit lighter on those. And that helped me a ton because the MEE subjects are so, I don't know, like corporations, business associations, wills and trusts, like all of these like nitty gritty like subject areas. And I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna kind of get to know the basics for each one of these. And then if I happen to get it on the MEE, I'll know the basics and then I can just make everything else up, which is like kind of insane that that's the way that you can do it and pass, but that's the test we have. So
Yes, I'm okay with
I
that.
don't
Like,
know.
listen, show some kind of taking a rule, applying some analysis, and making a conclusion. Actually, let's put it back on the law schools. All this money that we give them, they should be allowed to have a free laptop included with that tuition.
100%, 100%, completely agree. Or like all those case books I bought for my 1L classes when I could have just accessed all those cases for free on Lexis or Westlaw.
So, yes,
Yeah,
this is a money making. We already know from before
yeah,
you even get in, since the LSAT, it's a money
yep,
making thing.
100%. It's
I was joking
crazy.
yesterday. I finally got my alumni card with GW, and I had to
Mhm.
because I've been studying there. And I walked up and like used my student ID card of like, and then I got buzzed in, and the girl's really nice. She's like, "Oh, you have to get an alumni card." So I went and got an alumni card, and he's like, "That'll be $10," and I'm like, "This should be free." And he's like,
No
"I'm sorry,
kidding.
don't shoot the messenger. It's $10," and I'm like, I have given this school so much money, but okay, fine. I'll give you 10. And he's like, if it makes you feel any better, you only pay it one time. It lasts for 10 years. And then you just come back and get a new ID. You never have to pay that $10 again. I was like, okay,
You're like, okay, that makes it a little better.
that's a little better. But I'm
Surprised
like,
they didn't make
this
it
is crazy.
$20 in that
Right.
case.
Inflation, 25 or so. Yeah.
Inflation. Seriously though,
But
that's
yeah, that was my
crazy.
little tangent on like, I was like, I'm done giving money to this process.
You know what really killed me after I graduated is like even before I got my bar exam results, because Alaska, even though it's so small, it takes months and months and months to get the results. It's like I think around the same time as DC. But anyway, so I had like taken the bar exam, hadn't gotten my results yet, and I was already getting donation request emails as an alumni of my law
No.
school. Yeah, and I was like, no, you guys, this is insane. I like just left. I'm not even licensed yet, and you're already asking me for money.
No
Like,
way.
this is
No.
unhinged. No, like, you have enough of my,
For like put on your spam block filter. Don't send me
yeah.
these.
They're like, donate to help students, give them scholarships, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, as a scholarship kid, no.
You're like,
Give me
yeah,
10
you know
years.
what? Go to the people who got into big law. Go hit them
Yep,
up.
exactly, exactly.
No, no, right. Like, I love, I'm sure like you probably love your school. Like, I love my school too. It's just the money part that I'm like, you guys have taken enough of my money. Like, don't have
Yeah,
to.
go bark up a different tree. Like,
Yeah.
okay, here's the other weird thing that my bar exam did. At the end of the second day, the bar association, because it's so small and the exam was in Anchorage and that's where the bar association is based, they had a pizza party for all the bar exam
Oh,
takers, and it was like billed as like a networking opportunity. Like there were going
that's
to
so
be other
cute.
lawyers there and stuff, and I was like, I like this idea in theory, but like I'm incapable of speaking. Like I cannot go make small talk with people I don't know right now.
Wait, is it right, like right after?
Right after
No, I thought it was
the
like the
end of
next
the
day.
second day.
No,
Yeah. I was like, no offense to anybody in this room, but like I can't be here right now.
no.
I need
I
to
would be
go
like,
have a
give me
drink.
the free pizza and I'm out. Like, I'm not talking to another human.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Isn't
I
that
agree.
crazy?
To
Yeah.
network in my
To
sweats.
network. I know. I was like, you're catching me at my worst, my lowest moment. Like
Yeah.
I don't
What
know
an
what you did after you
awkward.
took the bar, but
I
yeah.
went to
I went and
dinner
had a
with
drink.
friends. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was like, I'm done. And I actually literally didn't even change my clothes. Like I showed up for dinner and all of my friends had gone back to change first. And I was like, you guys didn't tell me. You guys look cute. And we're at this like Michelin star restaurant in Georgetown for dinner, this Italian swanky place. And I thought we were gonna like commiserate together in sweats. No, I was the only one that showed up. They all changed. And I was like, guys, you should have told.
That's really funny.
It's okay. It was, but it was nice to just like talk with people who just suffered together
Yeah.
and like just, encourage each other like, guys, like it's done. It is what it is, like we'll see what
Yep.
happens. This time around though, I actually am doing something different. So, two of my friends, we decided we'll get a hotel at the Salamander in DC, which is one of my favorite hotels. It's just so posh, and they have a spa that I
Nice.
love in there. And I just love
Nice.
wearing robes and like sitting in the bed. And we're ordering room service and we're just like watching movies, just girls' night, just chill.
Love it. Yeah.
And that way I don't have to get up and get dressed and be fancy. Next day, I will log in and telework because I will have been, going back to full time at that point.
Yeah.
But at least I'll be in a robe, chilling and teleworking, and then also book
Yeah.
myself something to do at the spa over there. That's the
Good.
plan this
I
time.
love it. Yeah, I love it. I feel like, yeah, you got to do whatever you got to do to have that like nice thing at the end that you do for
Yes.
yourself after you've done this really hard thing. Yeah,
Yes.
100%. I love that plan. I was gonna introduce you to my dog. Huggy.
Hi.
He actually can't hear you, but
I
that's
see I see
Rainy
us I
fine.
see the ears perking up.
Yeah, he can hear my baby voice. Yeah, he's a good boy. He
He's
just
like,
turned
I'm
10.
sleepy. My
Yeah,
God, wow.
I know.
Oh.
When I graduated, I got him a little neck handkerchief thing,
Hmm.
whatever, that said J Dog on it. Because
Wait, I love it.
I started in 2020 during COVID and everything.
Uh,
So I did my first year of law school remotely from home, basically. And so he was like behind me during class,
Oh,
like all evening long, because I was a night student. So
yes. You were
I was like,
honorary J
he did
Dog. I love
too.
it. Yes.
Yeah. So
That's so
anyway,
cute. What a
yeah.
clever gift idea. I'm like thinking now of like friends I have with the dogs when they graduate. That's so cute,
He's really
actually. Love
cute.
that idea.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. I love dogs. That's why I'm like, yay.
I
Hi.
know. He's so happy. He's tired. He's been out playing all day long. Yeah,
Nice.
he's a
So
good
cute
boy.
though.
Yeah, he's a good boy. I
Oh.
was using Themis pretty much the whole time, but there was one website that was popping up on Reddit all the time, and my friend used it and it gave me her login. And I can't remember what it was, but it was just a black letter law practice kind of situation. I'll see if I can find
Is
the
it like
source.
Q something?
Maybe it like I forget but what it did, but basically it was supposed to help you kind of train and memorize and write black letter law like over and
Mm,
over and over again. And I eventually got to a point where I realized that was what I needed to know. I needed to be focusing on black letter law. I was like, I know
yes.
how to apply it when I know the rule, but the problem is I
Mm-hmm.
need to know the rule.
Same.
Yeah. And so I found that to be really helpful because memorizing is really hard for me, and like I was like my fiance was helping me like quiz me. Sometimes I just needed that, but it was also really helpful to have to write it down because that
Yes.
stimulates what you're actually doing in the exam too.
Hmm.
But
I am
yeah,
using
it's so
something like
tough.
that, and I agree that I wish I had done this last time too. So it's called, wow, it's called Shep the Bar, I think, and it's
Mm.
really it's focused on the MEE, and it
Mhm.
has about 9 essays for every subject. But
Mm.
it also has a section, there's like 500 and some like most tested rule statements. And it's like flashcard style where you like sit there and you type it. You can practice like reading it first and then like practicing it and
Mhm.
then typing it out, and then it'll like grade you on like if you've got all the buzzwords or not. So yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. The practice
I
of
think that's
actually
what I
like
use
typing it.
maybe. Yeah, I think like whatever you can do to simulate what it's going to actually be like on the exam day. But I mean, obviously it's not great to be taking it a second time, but maybe in some ways too, like do you feel like you feel more prepared because you know you've been in the environment, you've actually done the thing, and so you kind of there's like less mystery about what how it actually happens and how you actually feel and what the whole process is like, because I think that
Yes.
was another really scary thing for me is it was like I'm going to this place, I've never been there before, I'm not going to know anybody there, and I don't know what it's going to be like. And that was like a whole like own level of anxiety on top of the like, oh my god, it's like the biggest test of my life. And
No,
I
no,
don't
I
know.
agree. And I do think that that is very helpful for me this time around is I at least know what to expect
Yeah.
going into it, at least the feeling of like setting up, going to the bathroom, et cetera, et cetera. Like that part I can say, like, I think that's helpful. I'm knowing what to expect. And
Yeah.
I do think this time around, I have done a lot more research and learned more about strategizing for studying, where I feel like last time I kind of just went into it being like, Themis tell me what to do every day, and let me just check off the boxes in the tracker, make sure I complete
Mhm.
70% of the course, where I should have been practicing the memorization of Black letter law a lot earlier and also starting real MBE questions earlier. I think I waited way
Mhm.
too late to start the license questions. And that's something I like from the beginning. After every day when I like study a subject, I'm like immediately doing some
Mhm.
MBE practice. That's another thing. But yeah, I agree. I feel like my nerves are lower in the sense of like knowing what to expect, but I just
Yeah.
the other part of the nerves are just like I really don't want to do this again.
Again, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
But it's okay. We're gonna get
Well,
through.
I believe in you. I know
Thank
that,
you.
like, yeah, I just remember feeling like this is never going to be over, but then, like, eventually it is, and you do get to the other side, and then it's so, like, liberating just to have the exam behind you and then to pass. Like, it's like the best feeling. And so it's coming for
Totally
you. I know
agree.
it is.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah, what day are the exams this year?
let's see.
End of July,
July.
obviously.
You would think I know this like immediately off the top of my head. July 28th and 29th.
Okay. Well, I'll be thinking about you.
Thank you. And I'll update
Yeah.
you. And I'll let you know. I'll give you a little voice note and tell you how I feel when I leave.
Please do. Please do. I will be, yeah, I'll be thinking about you. And then hopefully the next time I'm in DC, we can have a really great reason to celebrate.
Yes, agree. I love the
Yeah.
like passive listening to make me feel like I'm being
Hmm.
productive. And I've actually been doing this for every section. When I finish my own section of my Black Letter Law outline,
Hmm.
I will put, and I'm following it, like mapping it to the NCBE's like subject matter list. So, for example, let's just use hearsay because we did evidence today. I done the hearsay section. I literally put it in Google's Notebook LM. And they have this podcast feature where you can say like a single podcaster or two people having a deep discussion, or a third one is like two people having a debate. I love it so much. I auto generate
Wow.
random podcasts and I'm like, only discuss what's in this outline. Like, don't involve any other web information. And it's so cheesy sometimes because I'll be like, imagine building a house and your neighbor comes with a lawn and knocks over your mailbox. Is that considered intrusion on property? Like it just has this whole thing, and the the other person responds like, wow, haha, I don't know. Like it definitely sounds so fake, but I think it just gives me something else to like feel
Yeah.
like I'm learning about the black letter law by
Yeah.
listening, and I could be like washing my dishes.
Totally. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. That's super cool. I didn't know that was like a thing. I love
Yeah,
that.
it's so I'm like these are like the educational tools that I wish I had for like regular law school, because
Yeah.
I really did struggle my 1L year.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
thank God I was able to still be in the percentage of the class I needed to like transfer because that was my desire, but
Right.
just a lot of trial and error.
Yeah. Did you have closed book exams one all year or open
Yeah,
book? Closed book.
closed
Oh my
book
God.
exams. Yeah.
That's horrible. Cause like
Yeah.
yeah, ours were all open book, which is part of, I kind of regretted that when it came time to do the bar because I had
hmm
never had to study for a closed book exam. And so I kind of had to like relearn how to study a little bit for that. But anyway, yeah, that would have been brutal. I mean, I have a really good friend who just graduated from medical school. And so we compare notes because, like, you know, you have these two professions and they're both intense in different ways, right?
hmm
But she's like, I hear what she goes through and like what medical school's like. And I'm like, oh my God, I could never do that. It sounds so hard. And she's like, I think law school sounds way worse because you don't have the whole residency thing and like all of that. But like you have one exam and it's the be all or end all of like whether or not you can go do your thing. And like
Yeah, yeah.
she's doing her residency, but they've already done all these other exams, right?
hmm
Like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me that we have all of our 1L classes and then you have to go kind of relearn that material 3 years later
Yeah,
when you're like
yeah.
so close to already being a lawyer. It would make so much more sense to like do your 1L year and then everybody has like a 1L material exam or something like,
Yes, yes.
but
When it's
I mean,
fresh in your mind.
yeah, and like you know, is a bar exam really a good way to test who's going to be a good lawyer? No. Just in the same way that the LSAT's not a good way of testing who's going to be a good lawyer either.
Right.
Which is like what everybody was saying when I took the LSAT. It was like, oh yeah, the LSAT's like the single best indicator of how good of a law student you'll be. And that was not the case for me because I had extremely mediocre LSAT scores, but I graduated in the top like I don't know, something of my
Look at
class.
it. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, archaic, like I said, archaic institutional practices. Who knows
Yep.
at one point if, as much as I know people hate on Kim Kardashian, I really hope that we get to the point where like we realize state by state, like normalize do your 1L education,
Yeah.
take a little baby bar on that intro and do an apprenticeship. Like, how about your last two
Mhm.
years be like you're actually practicing law? Like,
Yeah.
yes, you could
It'd be
still have the
so much more
academic, but
valuable.
yeah, like actually do the practice of law under like an apprentice, under some lawyer that's like willing to take you on. And it could be even like different every semester, different topics
Yeah.
you want to explore. I don't know.
100%. And
Something
I feel
more
like too,
practical.
yeah, more practical, like you're actually learning the skills that you need to be good at what you do so that you're not like starting a career and you're literally like you don't know anything,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
Which is like I feel like a nice thing about non-traditional students like you and me. When we start, we're like already ahead of people because we have other jobs and history and
hmm
everything like prior to law school, but um, and in addition to law school. But yeah, I mean, like the other thing with Kim Kardashian too is like somebody with all the resources and support in the world still can't pass.
Yes.
Like, what does
That should
that mean
tell
for
you
the rest of
something.
us?
hmm
Yeah, 100%. And like the thing that strikes me all the time is like, you know, I work in a very niche, very rule oriented part of the law, but like I would never, I mean, unless I know 100% with a certainty that something is true, like that the law is true, I still go back and double check myself. I look at
hmm
the actual black letter rules on things all of the time before I tell people things, before I file stuff with the government, before I go to an interview. I am always looking up what the law actually says because we're human beings and we're like not infallible, right? Like we forget
hmm
stuff all of the time. And I don't think a good lawyer just has it all in their head and memorizes it. Plus, the law changes. I mean, it's
Yes,
just like
I agree.
ridiculous, like that you're gonna, like that a good lawyer is able to memorize and like apply. Like that's just, it's such bullshit.
I agree. No, 100%. I totally agree. Let's hope that the next gen bar in 2028 for most people, like, I
Yeah,
hope that they claim the NCBE claims that it's supposed to be more practical, and I really hope it is because
I hope so.
that's how that's how the exam should be, practical.
Yeah. Oregon did something really interesting the year I graduated, and they have like kind of like a post law school apprenticeship for
Oh,
licensure now.
cool.
Yeah. So like one of my best friends from law school never took the bar, but she's licensed in Oregon because she did this like apprenticeship program.
Wait, that's so cool.
Yeah, and it was super cool because like she's a mom, she's got 3 kids, she didn't need to go through the hell of studying for the bar exam. Plus she's an immigration attorney like I am. And so, and she was an excellent student. Like there was zero need for a person like that to take the bar. She's
Yeah.
only going to be practicing in Oregon. She's practicing federal law. Like, so it seems like it's been really popular. I think a lot of employers are hesitant about it. And I think it
Mm,
like, I kind of was like, wow, if I could get licensed in Oregon without having to take the bar exam and still do my job, that'd be amazing. But then I was like,
yeah.
I want to be able to like move and
Mm,
not have this be a problem or not have to take the bar exam later.
hmm.
But it seems like it's going really well. And they have to put together like a portfolio and then they give it to the bar, and the Oregon bar, and they review and grade it. And not everybody passes. I just think that's so much better than
Yeah.
this
It's like
exam.
boards. Yeah,
Yeah,
like I feel
exactly.
like I support this. I hope that we
Yeah.
see this trending. Maybe Gen Z, they'll change the world. I don't know.
I hope so. That's what people said about millennials, though, too,
I
right? And
know.
I'm
Look
like,
at
I feel
us,
like we're just stuck with the same crap that
conformists.
everybody else. I know. We're too tired.
We are. We're
We're like, you
exhausted.
know what? How many disasters in your life can you live through?
We millennials, man, we've gone through so many disasters. Like we're
Yeah.
old enough to know 9/11. Gen
Yep.
Z's like, I don't know what that is. We had a
Yeah.
lot of like really crazy events in the world happen in our
Yep.
lifetime.
Yep.
And then COVID, like
And then COVID, yeah. I mean, the
all the
thing is,
world
I feel like
wars.
we're young enough but like we're old enough that we remember life kind of before 2016, right? But
Yeah.
like for a lot of my coworkers are in their early 20s and they were born, like 2000,
So
2001,
wild. So
or
wild.
even like 2002, 2003. And I'm like, we're only 10 years apart, but there's a huge difference between us. Like I had friends
Yes.
in their 30s when I was in my 20s, and I didn't feel like there was that big of a gap. But for them, I'm like, I remember a life without smartphones.
Yes. Oh my God. Or like how like you remember going to school and your parents have no way of like contacting you until you like
Yeah,
got home. Like there's a whole different world.
totally. Yeah, and like not having a computer at home,
No. Mm-mm.
I
And
mean,
then
there's like,
finally we got our first desktop for the family. Like the whole
yeah,
family shared one computer, a big old brick computer, like
yep,
ginormous, like
yep,
with
giant
dial
like
up.
dial up. I remember dial up. Yeah, exactly. And it's so funny because like I feel so old and dated and everything, but I'm like, I'm 33. I'm not that
Not
old.
old.
Like,
No.
but
Technology
it's just
just
that,
changes so fast.
yeah. And then it's just that there's just that like, yeah, they don't have that memory, like they were like 10 years old when I graduated from high school, or
Yeah.
8. Like that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
That's
No,
actually
I
crazy.
agree.
Yeah. So who knows? Those poor kids are just trying to figure out what they're gonna do in this big world where like nothing is normal. Anyway, it's late. I've kept
Oh.
you long enough, and I know
No,
you've
no, I
got
am
stuff
so
you need to do.
appreciative. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to do maybe like 10 more questions before I go to bed. Just make myself
Yeah.
feel better about like doing more practice, and then
Yeah, totally.
sleep and get up tomorrow and do it all over
Do it all
again.
again.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, good luck. I'll be
Oh,
thinking about
thank
you.
you so much. Yes.
Yeah. I'm really happy that you asked. It was just nice to see you and catch up a
Yes,
little
it's
bit.
so great to see you.